Emma is a masterpiece. No. Emma is a masterpiece in everything that makes films great and relatable. I can find no fault within this movie. Not one hair out of place. As you can see, I love this movie. Hell, I would take a bullet for this movie. But I'm not only here to talk about my love for this movie, I'm here to convince all of you to go watch this movie as well. Because it's truly terrifying how this movie doesn't get enough attention. So perk up your ears and listen to reason, as I convince you to go watch this handsome, clever, and rich piece of art. Now, as you can see from the montage, this movie is absolutely, without a doubt, gorgeous. Every shot in this movie is stunning. Every shot in this movie is dripping with color and personality. And every shot is telling a story. Stories of loneliness, happiness, love, heartbreak, and regret. There is not one shot in this film that is ugly or average. Every shot that is in this film was painfully planned, and it shows. Cinematographer Christopher Blavet needs to get more recognition for his stunning work he did on this film. But other elements of the shots in the film should not be ignored, especially the set design and costume design, which adds life and color to these shots. And my god, this movie is dripping with life and color. The colors in Emma give this sweet undertone of a fairy tale, and this film, without a doubt, has some fantasy elements. And that is evident throughout the film, because in reality, none of this would really happen. But that's okay, because no film at all should feel the need to be gritty, dark, or realistic, because sometimes we as humans need an escape from our gritty, dark, and realistic reality. Because even though some may not want to admit it, we as humans need connection with other people in our lives, and it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to open your doors and be vulnerable. It's called being human. In my opinion, most movies live and die by their music. Music has a direct correlation to whether you feel a certain emotion or not in a scene. Music goes hand in hand with acting, and is arguably more important than acting in some cases, because we as humans can only go so far with emotion. But we as humans also have the ability to enhance emotion out of a scene through music. So the burning question is if the music is great in Emma. No, it's not great. It's fucking amazing. The music in Emma is so fucking amazing because it takes on a classical serious tone while having a whimsical undertone. This is so special because it mirrors the main character of this film, Emma Woodhouse. There are two sides to Emma, the classic, serious, fancy Emma, and the whimsical, sweet, and caring Emma. Emma is quite literally trapped between two worlds, one being the lonely and upholding standards for the lavish lifestyle her family leads, and the other one having connection, love, and imperfection. And the music just captures this conflict in her beautifully. But most importantly, the music in Emma covers every emotion in this film perfectly. When the film is joyful, the music is joyful. And when the movie is sad and full of regret, the music represents it perfectly. Or when the film requires the music to be full of life and love, the music is brimming with it. The music in this film is nothing short of spectacular. Both Isabel Waller-Bridge and David Schwartzer both deserve so much praise because this is honestly one of the best movie soundtracks ever composed in film history. Now you may be wondering, why did I put acting, directing, storytelling, writing, and characters under the same category? Well, that's because they all go hand in hand together. The writing in Emma is fresh, beautiful, sad, and fun. The writing makes all the characters flawed, but relatable. Since the writing for the characters is so good, the storytelling in this film is off the charts. Somehow, someway, the storytelling stays fresh throughout the film. There was not one scene where I wasn't glued to the screen. This is in huge part to the beautiful direction from Autumn Day Wilde. My God, she directed the crap out of this movie. She can bring out just enough emotion from the actors where it's not too melodramatic for the audience, and she paces the film with utter perfection. From scene to scene, there is not one dull moment. Now, that's also in part to the actors, and to no surprise, the acting is utterly terrific. Anya Taylor-Joy gives an amazing performance in the form of Emma Woodhouse. She is, of course, rich. But rich in a different way. Yes, Emma is rich, but Emma is also rich with character. Character that grows throughout the film. She starts out as a rich, kind of snob, full of herself, lonely person. But by the end, she is something much more. By the end of the film, Emma is humbled. She has compassion for her friends, but most importantly, Emma finds love and connection. Emma is relatable because she is lonely. Emma is relatable because she makes mistakes throughout the film, but by the end, she grows from them. Throughout her whole life, Emma felt compelled to hide her true self. Her true self being the little girl who always wanted to be loved. Anyone can relate to the feeling of wanting to be loved. As humans, we strive for connection. Hell, it's built in our systems. Without connection, we are lost. And that's the whole message of the film. Loneliness, connection, and the want to be loved. Emma Woodhouse is one of the best characters ever created in an art medium. And that's a huge part to Anya Taylor-Joy and the book the movie is based off of. Now, before I let you all go, I want to gush about one more thing about this beautiful movie. I want to gush about the dance scene between Emma and Mr. Knightley. This whole scene is a masterpiece of nonverbal storytelling. Just a subtle transition between friends dancing and then lovers dancing. Both of them started that night as friends, but eventually ended that night as lovers. I love the way they are both terrified of the mere prospect of falling in love. The way the music represents them accepting it and rejecting it. The way they both stand stunned at the revelation of it all. It shows that these characters have always loved each other, but masked it with fake pettiness and genuine banter. And that's what I think this scene does so well. It combines all of the pettiness, the loneliness, the banter, and the love they had for each other into one scene. That was represented by a dance and no dialogue. If this scene doesn't convince you to go watch this movie, I don't know what will. But what I do know is that this scene, in my opinion, is by the literal definition, a perfect scene. Now, before I leave you to decide whether to watch this movie or not, I want to ask you a question. How do you know that you love something or someone? Well, I know I love something or someone when that someone or something leaves me empty inside after it's all done. Where that something or someone leaves me optimistic for the future. Where something or someone touches me so deep in my mind that I can't sleep that night because I can't get that someone or something out of my head. That's when I know I love something. That's when I know something or someone is truly special. That's what I felt like after watching this handsome, clever, and rich movie. And I'm not ashamed of saying that Emma is honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. And now the question is, will it be one of your favorite movies of all time? Well, the way I see it, there's only one way to find out.